Okay, we are back on our genre discussions and we are going to talk about teen dramas. So, teen dramas are a rite of passage for every middle to high school age kid. That age is pumped full of hormones and confusion, and the teen drama TV genre is a perfect reflection of that. The first relevant TV show that could be considered the real start of teen dramas as a genre, is the original 90210. It started in 1990 and ended in 2000. Um, 90210 clearly paved the way for things like Gossip Girl and The OC. And not only did it set the tone for teen dramas in general, but it also set the bar for shows that were grounded in reality but had like an air or a tone of unattainability. In this case, the unattainable part was simply money. These kids were just rich, and therefore consequences were kind of a foreign concept. There were no really wild out there storylines at the beginning of teen dramas. Almost everything was just kind of some stupid situation dumb privileged kids would get themselves into. Though 90210 was first, I would argue that the show that really pushed teen dramas into the forefront of relevance was Dawson's Creek, which ran from 1998 to 2003. Dawson's Creek had a big audience and a good following because it was the first teen drama or any show to be as grounded as it was. We had a small town and a typical high school kid, and they were dealing with typical high school kid things. Yes, the characters were far more hyper aware to their surroundings and experience than any teenagers have ever been in their whole lives. But the show did a really great job of dealing with hormones and changing feelings and friendships, realizing your sexuality, the pressure of being a successful student, and really finding out who you are becoming as a person. And did it in a way that was true to what it was. What I mean by that is shows to come after it really tried to explore the same things, but because of the changing pace of society, they turned the drama up to 11, and whatever message or theme they were trying to convey kind of gets drowned out by whatever else is happening. Like, it gets drowned out by the fact that Peyton has a stalker. Um, and that never really happens on Dawson's Creek. Dawson's Creek also gives us the dreaded time jump. Very few shows have actually done a time jump well, and it is on the teen dramas TV tropes list at the end of this video. And I think Dawson's Creek time jump was fine. It took some getting used to, but the characters still kind of felt like themselves. I just I don't love it. I don't love time jumps in general. Very few shows do them correctly. I think my favorite thing about Dawson's Creek as a show is the hometown down to earth like charm of it. I think the show in the television industry really lit a fire under some network executives, and it gave us so many other dramas. Like, we wouldn't have One Tree Hill and Gossip Girl without Dawson's Creek. Now, a lot of shows have some mismatched acting ability in the cast, but there are some really, truly great actors and storylines on Dawson's Creek. Katie Holmes was so pretty, but not good. And I think we all know that. That shouldn't need explaining. Michelle Williams actually kind of really bothered me. I love her as an actress, and I think maybe I just hated Jen, but she was really irritating in Dawson's Creek. I think she's grown a lot as an actress since then, and it truly might have been just her character. The standout performance, however, was of course Joshua Jackson, who is absolutely incredible. Pacey is the sweetest TV baby. We were all in love with him. He is, in fact, the reason I started watching Fringe, and my love for him and Peter is the reason why I stopped watching Fringe. But moving on, we have the OC, which ran from 2003 to 2011. The OC and One Tree Hill ran concurrently for several years, though One Tree Hill was longer lasting. But the cast of One Tree Hill has repeatedly talked about the fact that the existence of the OC was the reason that their show had to be sexy and that they had to be dialed up to 11. So I would argue that the OC is the show that caused teen dramas to be a lot steamier, and a lot more hormonal. One Tree Hill is arguably the teen drama. Like, I think it has the biggest fan base. I think it gets rewatched more than the rest of these, and there are reasons for that. The casting is impeccable. Character development is among the best on TV. The group dynamics are unmatched, but more than that, I really think it's a melting pot show. Like, it has the small town charm of Dawson's Creek. It's got the intensity and the sexiness of the OC and 90210. It really dials up the drama, so the storylines do get a little bit out there, but by the time that happens, you are so bought into the characters that it doesn't matter. It's truly a well executed show. So teen dramas are marketed to teen girls, young women. That is their target demographic. But both my husband and my brother have watched and praised this show in its entirety because of how well the characters are written. I think some of the greatest character development ever written in TV was with Miss Brooke Davis and Mr. Nathan Scott. One of the best relationships on TV was Naley. And because of that, they could kind of throw in whatever they wanted. They could throw in a stalker or a crazy nanny because we already loved the character development and the growth, which is my favorite ways to tell stories. Character first, always. Also, I truly believe that Naley is one of the greatest relationships in television history, and I could literally write an essay on just them. The One Tree Hill really does a brilliant job of being character driven. I highly recommend listening to the Drama Queens podcast also, if you already watched the show or want to watch the show. Our three leading ladies host it, and they are just incredible to listen to. There are a lot of rewatch podcasts out there, and some of them are really boring, but the friendship that these ladies have and the love that they still have for their characters and each other really comes through. And I just think it's worth listening to. Even if you don't watch the show, they're just delightful. That brings us to Gossip Girl in 2007 through 2012. In the middle of One Tree Hill's run came Gossip Girl, and oh my god, one of the most dramatic teen dramas. What was once more a reflection of class and privilege definitely still falls into the teen drama category, and as One Tree Hill started dialing up the drama to 11, Gossip Girl had to then follow suit. So we start off strong with rich kids being immediately wrapped up into drugs and sex. We escalate from there to fake deaths, princes, and pregnancy. But as with most shows that fall under this genre, the intensity of the plot lines isn't a turnoff for no other reason than we as the audience already love the characters. I would argue that teen dramas are one of the best ways to study character-driven stories. Because of the wildly out there plots, the characters are allowed to be put under extreme pressure and forced to grow. So you get these really amazing character arcs from really ridiculous plot lines. Now, something I've discovered in my time on TikTok is that the teen drama genre as a whole is something that the internet craves. Like, we love the messiness, the drama, the nostalgia, and the kind of shows we've been discussing ended quite a while ago. There is a void in the market. And I saw a few people say that the closest recent thing is The Summer I Turned Pretty, which had 2 seasons. I think it's getting a third. So, of course, I had to give it a watch to see how close it came. Now, I, on a sick day, binge watched the entire first season. I've only seen the first 2 or 3 episodes of the second season, so don't hate me. These are just like overall thoughts. Our sweet main character, Belly, is in love with her childhood crush, Conrad, even though Jeremiah is so obviously the better boy. I will die on this hill. Team Jelly Belly forever. I love him. But immediately there's a love triangle with brothers, a childhood crush. We're already starting off so strong. I'm also immediately invested in Belly's happiness. Like, she's so cute, and the writing was just so well done. It's pretty clear tone-wise that this is like classic teen drama, closer to Dawson's Creek. Also, the soundtrack being almost entirely like people like Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift is perfect teen drama music, and I love it. So we go on this like back and forth kind of love triangle. We even date another boy for a minute. It's really good. Like, I was feeling all of my feelings watching this show. I haven't felt that giddy watching a show since I watched One Tree Hill for the first time. The Summer I Turned Pretty is an incredible addition to the genre, and it's so good. I absolutely love it, and I think it's fantastic. Everyone should watch it. I am absolutely going to finish season 2, I promise. That brings us to the tropes in teen dramas. Love triangle. Obviously. At some point, there is a love triangle in every single one of those shows that we just mentioned. They're all ensemble casts. Now, this is really important because part of growing up is figuring out who your friends are and how you fit into a group. So, having these all be group dynamics is really important to telling the story in the way you want to. Time jumps. We talked about this. Now, not all teen dramas have these, but a lot of them do, and sometimes it means the death of the show. Dawson's Creek time jump was subpar at best. One Tree Hills was great. It actually makes the show better. It really comes down to the writing. Ivy League. Someone in this friend group is trying to go to an Ivy League school. Blair wanted Yale. Andy wanted Stanford, I think. Someone is trying to go somewhere prestigious. And of course, class differences. Obvious in 90210 and Gossip Girl, but also very present in Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill. Teen dramas actually tend to be super popular with people in their 20s just because you kind of go through all that confusion and sense of feeling lost and aimless all over again in your 20s. If you're a teenager watching right now, I'm so sorry to break it to you, but this feeling doesn't stop for a while. But there really aren't a lot of TV shows that dive into that for those of us in our 20s still trying to figure it out. So most of us return to the TV shows we watched as teenagers to find some kind of comfort and reminder that it does get better and eventually the world starts to make sense. Kind of. Um, I think there is a void for in the entertainment industry right now for both teen dramas and early adult dramas is what we'll call them, I guess. For those of us in our 20s, I keep saying that as if I'm not turning 28 this year and I'm almost 30. It's fine. Um, we'll save that existential crisis for later. Um, but because the genre as a whole really does reflect the emotions of things that we all went through. Like this is all, no one avoids this. And I think that's why those teen drama shows continue to be so popular. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. My favorite teen dramas to rewatch at least are One Tree Hill and Gossip Girl. I do occasionally get the urge to watch Dawson's Creek, but that only lasts for a couple of episodes, and then I normally dip. But One Tree Hill is one of the best teen dramas of all time. Highly recommend. Go watch it.